Hello food freakies, welcome to the Foodie Studies. I'm Dennis Whitehurst and I'll be your host and coach in English for the kitchen. We're in Mercado Maravillas and we're going to be looking at some really tasty bits. Follow me. Our objective is to teach you English in the kitchen, the different products, the different techniques, the different ways of expressing joy in the kitchen. Follow me. Today we're in the Mercado de Maravillas. It is truly a foodie wonderland. And we're going to be specializing today on vegetables or veggies. Let's start with the leafy vegetables. Here we have borraja, which can also be used as a spice. Romaine lettuce, typical for your salad. Oak leaf lettuce, which can be used to brighten up your salad. It has a different texture as well, softer, more tender. And trocadero lettuce, which also gives it another textural dimension to your salads. One of my favorite veggies is kale. You can fry this and make it like a chip with a little bit of salt and a little bit of olive oil. You can braise it, you can boil it with a ham hock. Grelos. We know about grelos, very gallego, very from Galicia. These, in English, are called turnip greens. Now, turnip is the nabo. These are the greens for the nabo. This is also, both of these are considered part of the Southern tradition soul food in the South. Green onions, the long variety, great for grilling, chopping up, put on salads. Same thing, spring onions we also call these in the States, but round. Also great for grilling and roasting. Likewise, vine tomato for salads and sauces. Green peppers, red peppers. In Louisiana, we use this as part of the Trinity, which is celery, apio, onion to make gumbo. Beautiful eggplant. Look how shiny that is. In the UK, it's called aubergine. We all know the cucumber, which we can use to make pickles. And it's great for salads. Better in the summertime, I think, though. One of my favorite veggies is the broccoli. And it's also good for you. You can cook it different ways. Raw, in a salad, braised, blanched. Typical tomatoes for the salad. Not really the season, but what the hey. Roma tomatoes or pear tomatoes, great for cooking Italian sauces and gazpacho. A friend of mine uses this for gazpacho. White zucchini, softer and milder than the regular zucchini, also known as courgettes. This is the regular zucchini, or courgette in the UK. Habas, fava beans, not fabada. You can cook these whole, typical Andalusia. Okay. And you can also cook these when they are shucked with little pieces of jamón serrano, juicy and scrumptious. You hate these, don't you? These are Brussels sprouts. Very fashionable in the United States. You can boil these, you can slice them up, eat them fresh, raw, or you can roast them. Delicious. Pay attention to what your mother says. They're good for you. This is called romanesco in Spanish, but it's also called Roman cauliflower or broquiflor, which is a hybrid between cauliflower and broccoli. Looks kind of funky, doesn't it? Tastes even better. Okay, another one of my favorite veggies is fennel. This is a very typical winter vegetable. You can braise it, you can cook it, you can roast it, you can also cut it and use it for a nice salad together with winter oranges. And the leaf part you can use as a garnish. It has a slight anise flavor to it. Another one of my favorite winter vegetables is the artichoke. My daughter hates them, I love them. You can steam them, you can roast them, you can stuff them. They're very versatile. Make sure that the leaves are tight and packed together. That's the sign of a good, fresh artichoke. Another of one of my favorite vegetables, and very versatile as well, is the beet. You can roast these, you can boil these, you can pickle them. And what a lot of people don't know is the greens are edible. You can cook these, saute these, boil these, braise these. You can cook these like grelos. Cook these like turnip greens or kale. The padron pepper. Pimientos de padrón, unos pican, otros no. We really don't have that saying in English. We say some will give you a kick and some don't. They are becoming quite popular in the United States now amongst the foodies. If you are a gastro freaky or gastro geek, you know what I'm talking about. They're from Galicia. And we have the cousin from Guernica. Judía Bobby. String bean. If you're thin in the United States and skinny, they call you string bean. Very typical in the South. You can blanch these to put it in your salad just for a couple of minutes. You can boil these. I love them with fatback and ham hocks. Soul food. Maybe it's a bit early for these, but I just love wild asparagus. Probably from Jaén or Extremadura. You can have these roasted in vinaigrette or very, very delicious in scrambled eggs. And the asparagus grown on the farm. Big difference. The wild asparagus are more bitter than the cultivated asparagus. That's why they go extremely well with the scrambled egg to balance the bitterness. I like to use tirabeques, snow peas, in my stir fry. These are from Aragon, very typical there. Here we have the Comato cherry. Now the Comato was developed in Spain. The Comato is the trade name, the brand name of the term or the vegetable olmeca. It's sweeter than your average tomato. Here we have the tomato raf, which means resistencia a fastidium, which is a fungus. They were developed in Almeria and they are cultivated in Almeria. They are sweeter, juicier than the average tomato. Delicious for salads. Gotta have your peas. The only problem with the peas, it takes too long to shuck the peas. You can spend hours and hours and hours shucking the peas. Here we have the typical flat green bean. Not my favorite, I prefer the string bean. Here we have the manteca gallega or buttery green bean. Softer, tender, has a buttery flavor. This is the radish. One of my favorite vegetables. It's a root vegetable. Excellent for a mid-morning snack with a little bit of salt. Here we have the common cabbage. Right next to that is celery. We have a little wedge of red cabbage in the back. Leeks, very versatile vegetable. Difficult to clean, but you can roast them, cut them up in slices. Great for purees. Common carrot. If you can see the nabo or the turnip. Remember, the greens of the turnip are grelos or turnip greens. Next we have chard, which is acelgas. Not my favorite, but hey, you know, my mother made me eat them. We have heads of garlic in the background there. The red potato, which I prefer, when I make my French fries. The common yellow onion, and then the red onion, which I prefer for salads and cooking. And here we have the shallots, smoother, softer for making sauces. Berros, watercress, used to spicing up a salad. And Obama's favorite ingredient for salad, arugula. Now up top, we have the French onion, which can be used as a garnish, but I used it last weekend to make coq au vin, and I put it in with some mushrooms in the wine sauce and braised the chicken very slowly. A wonderful addition to the coq au vin. And a must-have in any kitchen is thyme and rosemary, tomillo and romero. Put them together and you have bouquet garni for stews, braises. I stuff my roast chicken with thyme and rosemary. Essential in any kitchen or herb garden. Here we have two substitutes for a starchy vegetable like the potato. We have the yucca plant, originally from Africa, which was basically transferred to the New World by the African slaves. We also have the plantain, or here in Spain you say the plátano macho. The greener they are, the better they are for tostones, fried, beautiful, with a little bit of salt. Instead of French fries, a great addition. And the more yellow or browner they are, better for roasting or baking in the oven, even for stews, like the Dominican sancocho. Okay, here we have a variety of legumbres, or legumes. Pinto beans. Everybody knows pinto beans. Your mother made pinto beans. Caretas from Extremadura, but we call them black-eyed peas, originally from Africa. This is part of the New Year's Day's dish. It brings luck. We eat a green like kale or turnip green, roast pork, and black-eyed peas. Yummy. Not to be confused with the music group. Jodión de la Granja. Broad beans. Cook that with a ham bone, some ham hocks, the compango, navy beans, or white northern beans, typical in Boston, Massachusetts. They call Boston, Massachusetts the bean town. And one of my favorite beans is, there's no translation, the Tolosa bean. They need to be introduced into the United States and England. Shh, don't tell anyone, we want them for us. Now here we have three different kinds of chickpea, or now it's becoming more and more common to call them garbanzo beans. They've got many uses. For falafel, cocido madrileño, great in salads. Okay, then we have three different types of lentils, lentejas, the castellana, the pardina, francesilla, the little French lentil. Sounds like a story. That's the little French lentil. Not very common in the United States nor in England, but very common in Asian foods, especially Southwest Asia, India, Pakistan, also in Ethiopian cuisine and African cuisine. This split pea, you take some ham bone or puntos de jamón, some carrots, make a nice puree with the split peas. If you're into risotto, I do recommend arroz de calasparra. Calasparra rice. Short grain rice, a lot of starch. Jengibre, or ginger. I had this in my kitchen once and my cleaning lady freaked out. It'll give your dish an Asian profile. Very delicious, very spicy. This is a must-have if you're into Asian cuisine. Kind of funky looking.